Yo, what is really good, future and all my day ones? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to try this new concept called storytelling, and I hope you guys really do enjoy this because I will try my best to relay my experiences and kind of make it easier for the new grads coming into this world. And for the most part, I'm combining most of everything that I love, which is video games, fitness, into just one channel. And this is one way I could do it, by playing video games and telling you guys a story. So I'm going to tell you my first case as a new grad. And I remember it vividly, and it was like basically breaking me in. So this goes back to 2012, and this was in Ketchikan. Actually, not 2012. 2011. This was all the way in Ketchikan, Alaska. I actually had 1 year off of nursing, and that's because of my whole failures. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link to here. I failed the NCLEX twice, and it was so hard for me to get a job as a new grad. And I say this because you have no experience, and most of these hospitals really do want you to have experience. So I'm bringing it back to med-surg. It was 2011, and I was young at the time. How old am I now? I'm 30. I was 34 at the time, and 24 at the time, and I really didn't know much, to be honest. I basically forgot a lot about nursing, and I just passed the NCLEX, and I was going back and forth to the Philippines, taking care of all this paperwork that was undone. My first case, let's just call him Patient X. Patient X was an end-stage renal disease patient, and he was obese, but he was also very edematous. I remember being a stage 4. The patient was already in CHF, congestive heart failure. The patient did have, let me give you guys a clinical picture from a head to toe assessment. The patient was alert oriented ×4, basically had no sensation to his lower limbs. It was I'd say greater than 3 CAT refill on the bottoms. It was less than 2 second CAT refills on the upper, but you could definitely tell that it was more so a right and left-sided heart failure, because at the lung bases he did have some crackles. He was having some difficulty of breathing. He was on 4-liter nasal cannula. His heart was muffled. I couldn't really hear his heart, but although it was muffled, it was S1, S2. Bowels, he wasn't passing any bowels at the time, or not bowels, bowel movements, he wasn't passing any at the time. And he was urinating somewhat. Actually, no, he had a Foley catheter in place, but his urine was tapering off. As you can tell, with a case like this, we were already anticipating a bunch of Lasix and loop diuretics just to get some of the fluids off, to help with his breathing and also help with edema. This patient was also on a couple of chronotropes to kind of help his heart, but at the same time, pain was of the issue. The patient was in a lot of pain, and he was already blistering out. You could tell that there was no more places for his fluids to go except for out of the skin. And I just remember this case because this case has stuck with me for a very long time, because this was my very first case, and also the patient later died. I think it was a couple shifts later, but I wasn't the one taking care of this patient, and it was a night shift, so this was breaking me into the night shift. And I guess what had happened was when it was my day off, he had passed. And I remember Patient X being a very friendly and nice guy, and like a patient like that who will always kind of teach you something. And what he has taught me was that there is light at the end of the tunnel, because I was a brand new nurse, and it was very daunting for me to have even gone through this whole preceptorship or whatnot. And this is my first case, and I still didn't know what was in store. And imagine when you do have all these nurses, these experienced nurses, telling you that he's not ready, but you have your manager who truly does believe in you. And at that time, when I was that brand new grad, I didn't know much. And you think you know it all until you start to put pieces of the puzzle together, and you find out how hard the job is. And that's where it kind of teaches you that you have to get better at what you do. And I guess the moral lesson out of this is that you cannot forget your very first case, nor the ones who have helped you along the way to get to where you are as a nurse. Because for me, I highly highly give all my thanks to my first manager who gave me a shot in that unit, because let's face it, cardiac, med-surg, or med-surg tele, it could be daunting at first, especially if you don't have anyone to kind of back you up. And at the time I was working with elder folks, so they thought I wasn't ready, compared to if you were to work with someone your age who will help you kind of ease into things and they kind of understand you a little bit better. But you know what, it's made me who I am. It's made me the nurse I am today. I don't take it for granted. So that's about it for this story. If you guys enjoyed this, please do smash the thumbs up, as I will try my best to do a little bit more of these. If you guys do enjoy these, let me know. If you guys want, I'll tell you a story of the time where a patient threw doo-doo at me, and if this video gets enough thumbs up, I will do that. Don't forget to check out the videos on the side that I have to offer right here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys take care. Peace.